David Heine of Aspect Art. Today we're in the Nieuwe Kerk for their spectacular show, The Art of Islam, Heavenly Art, Earthly Beauty. Now this is an extraordinary show of objects drawn from the world of Islam. Some of it overlooked, much of it of such surpassing beauty that you'll never see it again in your lifetime. With us today is the curator, John Vrieze, who's going to tell us about some of this art, where it comes from, why it was made. So join us now at the Nieuwe Kerk for the Art of Islam. John, we're here again in the Nieuwe Kerk for what I would describe as a spectacular exhibition about Islam. Maybe you could tell us, first of all, what exactly is Islam?
Islam is one of the most important religions in the world. It's perhaps after Christianity, it's one of the second largest religions. It was started in the 7th century with the Prophet Muhammad in Mecca preaching, and it started the Islam.
Now I noticed a quotation that you have here from Muhammad that sort of explains the whole exhibit in a way. Could you tell us what that is?
Yes, it's one of the traditions, the hadith, one of the traditions of the words of the Prophet. Verily, God is beauty and loves beauty. And that was one of the guiding principles for Islamic artists through the ages to make beautiful things. Making beautiful things was an act of devotion, but also appreciating beautiful things had a certain elevated significance as well.
Now I noticed that in part of the exhibition, or much of it, there are no figurative representations in this. Could you tell us why that is?
Islamic art is primarily an ornamental art, so you have various forms of ornaments, such as geometric ornament, you have arabesques, floral ornaments and so forth, and you also have calligraphic ornaments. And you see, in general, very little figural art. The reason for that is because the Prophet was very wary of the worship of idolatry. So he warned against that. He warned artists not to depict figures of living beings such as animals or people. On the other hand, in the exhibition here, you do see several examples of animals and people being depicted, but then always in a sort of an ornamental context, or for instance, there's a water jug in the form of a cow or whatever as a utilitarian item. So yes, such an item which you can utilize, a water jug, of course you will not idolize such a piece. This is an extremely interesting water jug in the form of a cow with a calf from 1206 from Iran, and it's particularly interesting because it shows an animal, but then as a water jug. Now, the Prophet had a prohibition against the depiction of living animals or people, and the artist found a handy way of avoiding this prohibition. What did he do? He gave the cow and the calf a cut in its neck, so they were not living beings after all.
John, mysticism has always played an important role in the Islamic tradition. Could you tell us a little about the mystics and what exactly is a dervish?
Yes, mysticism has indeed played an important role in Islamic society. There are various ways of, there are various ideas, various mystics had various ways of achieving the path to mystical unity with God. One of them was, for instance, by chastisement, and others believed in dance and singing and so forth. There are various orders, dervishes or Sufis. There were wandering dervishes, monks who went from place to place and taught, practiced their particular form of mysticism.
Now, in Christianity, we have the Bible. In Islam, they have the Quran.
Indeed.
I noticed that you have a section devoted more or less to the Quran. Could you tell us a little about that book?
Yes, we're very, very lucky. We've received a wonderful loan from Yemen of some of the oldest manuscripts of the Quran. It's not known whether the words which were revealed to the Prophet were written down by him or by others during his lifetime, or if that happened subsequent to his death or his departure. But in any case, the Quran is of course holy. If these words are holy. So if an old Quran is worn out, you don't burn it or you don't throw it away. You hide it somewhere. And now, a number of years ago, in the Great Mosque in Sana'a in Yemen, they discovered a very large number of the oldest manuscripts which are in existence of the Quran, and we've been very lucky. We've been able to loan about 20 of these wonderful old manuscripts from the 7th to the 8th centuries. And for the rest, we have a whole section here on the Quran from the various centuries. So you see the whole development of calligraphy from the earliest calligraphy, what we call Kufic writing, to the more modern forms of Arabic writing, and which is also very, very beautiful. The whole development you can see here.
I noticed that you were very fortunate to have a big participation from the Hermitage in Russia. Why is it that they have so much of this stuff? And could you tell us a little about the interaction with the Hermitage?
Yes, pardon me. The Hermitage collection of Islamic art goes way back to even the predecessor of Catherine the Great. After the fall of the Great Mughal Empire, many beautiful treasures from the Mughals, among others, for instance, the ring of Shah Jahan, the builder of the Taj Mahal, were given to her. And a number of these objects we have also in this exhibition. Catherine the Great and also her son Babrinsky was a great collector of Islamic art, and at the end of the 19th century, the Romanovs, they purchased an enormous collection of a Russian person who was living in Paris, and it's become one of the really most sensational collections of Islamic art in the world. We have already for many years as Nieuwe Kerk, a very good relationship with the Hermitage. We do projects together, such as this project will, after the exhibition finishes here, will travel to the Hermitage. And we were able to cooperate in a very fine way in making this sensational show possible.
Part of every devotee to Islam is to make a pilgrimage at some point in their life. You've devoted a section to that. Could you tell us a little about why they go and what it is that a pilgrimage entails?
Indeed, every Muslim should, if at all possible, if his finances or his health allow that, go once in his life to Mecca. Mecca, the place where the Prophet was born and where he most of his teachings took place. Also, the most holy shrine of the Islam is situated in Mecca, in the great mosque. It's called the Kaaba. It's a black building. Tradition has it that it was built by Adam, the first prophet, and rebuilt after the great flood by Abraham and Ishmael, the son of Abraham. This is a very important building, and it figures also in this exhibition. At the end of each Islamic New Year, Old Year, pardon me, the Kaaba is covered with a black cloth, the kishwa, which also has a band around it and also a door. Now, we've been very fortunate in being able to loan both a piece of the kishwa as also the band, and we've loaned also, it's the most recent object in the exhibition, a curtain which covered the door of the Kaaba, and in fact in this particular case it was a recent covering, because on the covering on the curtain which we have is the name of King Fahd of Saudi Arabia, who ascended the throne in 1985. So the door which we have, the door curtain which we have, dates from after 1985.
John, could you tell me how long will this show be here? When and where can the people come and see it?
The exhibition will be on until the 24th of April. It's open from 10 until 6 each day, with the exception of Thursday evenings, when it's open until 10. And always on Thursday evenings we have lectures or introductions for those who wish to hear that.
Thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.